Greetings and welcome to the fantastic films of Vincent Price. I'm Dr. Gangrene, Nashville horror host, and I'll be your guide through this series where we'll be taking a chronological look at the horror, sci-fi, mystery, and fantasy films of the one and only Merchant of Menace, Vincent Price, as well as any other films or projects that I just feel like spotlighting, such as his appearance on the Brady Bunch.
If I can't get rid of them one way, I'll get rid of them another.
Or his 1974 hosting of the Horror Hall of Fame.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Vincent Price, and welcome to my world.
Many times over the years, I've been asked what's my favorite horror movie, and my stock answer always is anything with Vincent Price in it. Vincent had that certain something about him, an air that just seemed to raise the quality of the film by his very presence. Not to mention that voice, unmistakable, menacing, and thoroughly mesmerizing.
If a god of love and life ever did exist, he is long since dead. Someone, something rules in his place.
Vincent was the first star that I remember recognizing as a kid. Not just a horror star, mind you. I'm talking a film star. Movies like House on Haunted Hill and The Fly made an indelible impression on me as a kid. In fact, his performance in House on Haunted Hill was one of my main influences on becoming a TV horror host.
Good evening. I'm your host, Frederick Lauren. Since we're all strangers to each other, let's get acquainted with a drink, shall we?
Last year, the Belcourt Theater, Nashville's art house theater and a true Nashville treasure, screened a series of Vincent Price films in 35mm, and it was a real treat to see those on the big screen. For the Vincentennial celebration, which was a celebration of Vincent Price's 100th birthday anniversary, I did 100 posts on my blog about Price, so I guess it's safe to say I'm a fan. Vincent Leonard Price was born May 27, 1911 in St. Louis, Missouri. He graduated from Yale University in 1933, and while working on a master's degree in London, he began acting in theater. He landed the lead role in the play Victoria Regina in 1936, performing in London for several months before traveling back to America to perform on Broadway. There he quickly caught the attention of Hollywood and was offered a contract by Universal Studios in 1938. His debut film was the 1938 screwball comedy Service Deluxe, opposite leading lady Constance Bennett. In it, Price plays Robert Wade, a young inventor traveling to New York to sell his plans for an innovative new kind of tractor. Constance Bennett plays Helen Murphy, owner of the Dorothy Madison Company, a kind of do-it-all service for bumbling males, offering advice and help with everything from wedding planning to hangover remedies. She's spunky, headstrong, and completely overworked.
You hear? I say, do you hear?
He wants to know if I hear. Yes, Mr. Wade. I'll leave at once. Oh, no trouble at all. Thank you. I wish I'd never had a client. I wish I'd never started this service. I wish I was in a padded cell 1,000 miles from a telephone. Oh, if I could only have a nervous breakdown.
Well, you're doing fine.
She's also fed up with needy, insecure men.
If I ever met anyone with a mind of his own, I'd faint of sheer rapture. If I ever met a man who could take care of himself, I'd die of delight. I'm so sick of running other people's lives for them that I'd welcome a caveman who'd knock me over the head and drag me over the hand.
Enter Wade, tall, handsome, and confident, almost to the point of not caring. The two meet, and Helen is completely swept away. Wade is unlike any man she's met.
Oh, excuse me.
Say, what's the big idea?
Were you talking to me?
Look. Just look. That's all I want you to do.
Is that your hat?
That was my hat. You knocked it off with that thing.
Oh, I'm very sorry.
Oh.
Well, I guess there's only one thing for me to do.
Well, that's a great help.
But doesn't it make us even?
Even? Mine was an original Lily Lachey from Paris.
Well, mine was an original Nobby shop from Schenectady.
Oh.
You know, it's amazing that Price was cast in the lead role in his first film right out of the gate. No supporting parts or bit roles for him. No, he's the leading man in his very first film. Now, he's not quite doing the Vincent Price mannerisms and voice that we would become accustomed to so well in later years, and he plays it straight for the most part. But the Vincent we know and love does surface just for a moment late in the film in this scene where he's trying to convince a young girl to leave him alone so he can get back to work.
I think there's something you ought to know about me. When people interrupt me while I'm working, a strange thing happens to me. First I see spots before my eyes, then I hear a rushing in my ears, then a roaring, then I brain the nearest person with this.
Oh, Bob! Bob, what's the matter with you? Well, how did you ever get like this?
It's inherited. There's always been insanity in my family. Sometimes my spells last only a minute. Sometimes they last a day. Sometime I'm afraid they're going to go on forever!
Service to Luxe is a typical Hollywood romantic comedy of its time. It's the old formula of two unlikely lovers who fall for one another despite all odds. There are several quirky characters thrown into the mix, as well as some zany situations, but the end result and requisite happy ending is never in question. Vincent even gets an opportunity to sing in this one, albeit briefly, as he playfully serenades Helen with a commercial jingle while dining one evening.
Sounds like a bad Spanish song.
Velrita, Velrita, oh how can I meet her?
You know, people have been hung for less than that.
She had such small feet, I never could beat her.
The film does tend to be a bit chauvinistic in places, as illustrated so well in this final scene where Helen decides to give up her busy career and life she's built for the man of her dreams.
Now, wait a minute. So I'm the goat around here, am I? Well, not on your life. I've tried on this monkey suit 11 times and I'm going to use it. See, I'm going to get married. It's up to you. Get me a bride. Here's your chance to prove how great your Madison service is.
Hang the medicine service!
Say that again and smile.
Hang the Madison service.
Wade service from now on?
Yes, boss.
Indeed, but you know, I think that's as much this film being a product of its time as anything else. Service to Luxe is a pretty typical quirky romance, unremarkable other than being Price's first film. Now, the movie was directed by Roland V. Lee, who would go on the following year to make Son of Frankenstein, as well as Tower of London, where he would once again be teamed with Price. But more on that next week.
Hello, I'm Vincent Price. For many years now, mankind and his offspring have been searching for an alternative to peanut butter and jelly. After employing the latest methods in technology, the Peter Paul Candy Company has found the alternative to peanut butter and jelly. Peanut butter with no jelly. Pure, creamy peanut butter dotted with Crispies, covered with pure milk chocolate, but no jelly. I'm sure you're as pleased as I am.